Ćao ljudi! Have you ever visited a country and experienced something that completely shocked you? Well, who didn't, right? Cultural shocks are inevitable. Some may be pleasant, some not so much. So if you're planning a visit to Serbia, we decided to prepare you by explaining some of the cultural shocks you'll probably experience once you come here. And trust me, there's more than a few. There's one thing you'll notice right off the bat, the greeting culture. We really do it all. Handshakes, hugs, cheek kisses, sometimes all in the same greeting. Once you see us greet each other, you might think, these people are all over each other when they meet, or do they want to set a record for the most kisses on a cheek in a single greeting? And sure, this can be overwhelming for a foreigner, especially the kissing part. Do you kiss 3 times? 1 time? Left cheek first? Alternate sides? Is there some hidden Balkan formula everyone else understands except you? These are all valid questions. We kiss 3 times for special occasions. Birthdays, weddings, and slavas. If we're just meeting for a coffee, we kiss once, and usually hug if we're close to the person we are meeting. However, if you're only meeting someone for the first time, a handshake is enough. Don't go for the kisses yet. The next thing that shocks everybody who comes to Serbia is our coffee culture. The moment you start walking around the city, you'll notice cafés, packed with people, sitting for hours, talking, laughing, drinking coffee, no matter what time it is. Morning, middle of the workday, late in the evening, it doesn't matter. Cafes are always full. And at some point, you'll probably start wondering, wait, don't these people have jobs? We do. We just somehow always make time for coffee. Because here, coffee isn't just caffeine or something that you drink to wake up. It's more of a ritual. It's a chance to slow down, catch up with friends, complain about life a little, relax for a bit. Basically, reconnect. That's why we prioritize it so much. So don't be surprised if in the middle of a busy day, someone suddenly says, I'm on a kafu. Another thing you might notice almost immediately in Serbia is just how many people smoke. Serbia is definitely still a smoker-friendly country. What might shock you even more is that smoking is still legal inside the cafes and restaurants. Now, some places do have separate smoking and non-smoking sections, but even then, don't be surprised if someone at a table next to yours lights a cigarette while you're eating. And honestly, trying to ask them not to smoke probably won't go over very well. It might just turn into an awkward situation for everyone involved. So if you want to avoid these situations, you might want to look for a sign that says Zabranjeno pušenje. On the brighter side, one thing you'll probably love about Serbia is how welcoming people are. The hospitality game here is pretty strong. Don't be surprised if someone invites you to their home 5 minutes after meeting you. That's completely normal here. We generally love hosting people, even if it's just for coffee and cookies. Svrati na kafu is what you will hear all the time. But here's the thing. What starts as a casual coffee visit somehow almost always turns into a full-on feast. Suddenly, there is freshly baked pita on the table, domaće pršuta, homemade goodies like ajvar, and of course, Rakija always magically appears out of nowhere. And whatever you do, don't leave after 30 minutes. Here, hanging out for hours is completely normal. Leaving too early can actually seem a little rude. Oh, and speaking of hosting, neighbors, friends, and family members like to come over without invitation, especially in the more rural parts of Serbia. So if you're headed to one of Serbia's villages, prepare to be surrounded by people at all times. While we're on the hospitality subject, I must mention this as well. Never say no to food in Serbia. While you're visiting someone, you will be constantly offered food. Even if guests drop by uninvited, we'll likely already have some meze prepared for them. Meze is a type of Balkan-style appetizer, similar to a charcuterie board, usually including sir, suhomesnati proizvodi, kiseli krastavci, kajmak, ajvar, proja, hleb, and other small bites to share. And you need to know one thing. Serbian hosts are persistent. They won't give up until you take at least 1 or 3 things. Yes, we know you may be full and maybe you're not a fan of something we're offering, but you need to take at least 1 bite of it. Will we leave you alone after that? Probably not, but we'll be happy that you at least tried something. Ajde, uzmi još jedno parče. Or može još jedan, jedna, or jedno, pointing to whatever is on a plate at the moment. And if you really feel like you can't breathe anymore, you can say ne mogu hvala, prejeo, or prejela sam se, or pući ću. Now, you certainly know that Serbs love rakija. What you might not know is that we believe rakija cures absolutely everything. If a kid falls and scratches a knee, put some rakija on it. If your throat hurts, gargle it with rakija. If a bee stings you, rakija. If you have a fever, put the rakija compress on your forehead. Of course, if you're sad, rakija will cure that as well. You get the gist. Rakija is not just a national drink, it's also natural medicine used to heal both your body and soul. If you want to have a day filled with cultural shocks, you should go to a Serbian wedding. That's right. Serbian weddings are full of customs that foreigners find completely wild. Starting from bride purchase. Kupovina mlade. Mlada is the word for the bride. Yes, you heard it correctly. There is a part of the wedding when the groom, mladoženja, and his friends and family come to the bride's family house to buy her from her brother or closest male relative. Now, obviously, nobody is actually buying anyone. It's all symbolic, chaotic, and meant to be funny. Usually, the bride's family makes the groom and his friends complete ridiculous little challenges or dares before they're finally allowed to see the bride. Then you have a queue of cars from the wedding party driving in one consecutive line all the way to the venue with music blasting from each car, flags waving, and horns honking all the time. Another thing that can surprise you is that one of the biggest traditions is for a groom to shoot an apple that stands on the roof of the bride's house with a gun. Pucanje u jabuku. Yes, there are guns at Serbian weddings, but don't worry, it's only for the apple. And then, of course, the phenomenon of kum and kuma. Now, technically, kum is like a best man, and kuma is like a maid of honor. But in Serbia, it means way more than that. They're not just important guests at the wedding. From day one on, they basically become part of the family. In Serbian culture, being someone's kum or kuma is a huge deal. Those relationships are taken very seriously, sometimes almost as serious as actual family ties. We have a saying, Bog je na nebu, a na zemlji kum, which translates to God is up in the skies and kum is down on the earth. So you get how highly valued kum and kuma are here. We also say, kum nije dugme. Kum is not a button. It emphasizes that kum is a sacred, lifelong connection that shouldn't be treated as something small or replaceable, like a common button. And last but not least, the Serbian need to ask so many intimate questions. You know, it's normal to ask what you do for a living, but Serbs don't stop there. Our next question, without hesitation, is kolika ti je plata? Feeling awkward yet? Just wait. If you're dating someone, you will be asked when you plan to get married. Kad će svadba? And if you are married, expect to hear kad će dete. And if you already have a child, someone will certainly ask you kad će drugo. It's a never-ending line of inappropriate and extremely intimate questions. This is probably one of the most shocking things foreigners experience when they come to Serbia. It can be very awkward, even for us who are born here, so we can only imagine how surprised foreigners are when they experience this. But now you are at least a bit prepared for what's waiting for you. We hope you will learn to enjoy our coffee culture, experience a Serbian wedding, or at least visit your friends or family and experience some of the best hospitality there is. We also hope you'll get through those awkward questions, get used to the pace of things, and still manage to enjoy some incredible Serbian food, even if someone happens to be smoking at the next table. That's Serbia for you. Let us know in the comments what shocked you the most about our country. Vidimo se!